Hello out there, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. This is Tim from SkiRexMedia.com, and today we're going to talk about equipment. We're actually going to talk about a specific piece of equipment. A piece of equipment that I truly love, that I have a pair of, and that I use as much as I can. But first, I want to talk about audio equipment real quick. I'm trying a new recording setup today. It's something I haven't used yet. It's the first time I'm using it, so bear with me. If it doesn't sound right, or maybe it'll sound better than I have. I've been trying to work on the sound in the room. There might still be some background echo, but I'm working on it. So I hope it sounds good. I hope you can still enjoy listening to it, listen to me talk, and do my ode to skiboards. Now, if you don't know what they are, skiboards are just short skis. It almost looks like you have two mini snowboards on your feet. That's what it looks like. They range from about 100 centimeters to about 135 centimeters. Mine are about 120, I believe. No, actually, mine might be about 110. Mine are small, too. Actually, they might actually be around 100. I honestly can't remember. How terrible is that? But they're smaller skis. They look like a couple of snowboards strapped to your feet. They've gone by many different names. You might have heard about them under a different name. Something like a ski blade or a snow blade. There were sled dogs or snow dogs. I can't remember what they were called, but they were just like the boot. They were only the length of the boot. But they have a lot of different names, and the thing about them is there are some pros and there are some cons, just like any other, ski or snowboard that you pick up. Some are designed for different applications. Say you're a powder skier, you get powder skis. You're an all-mountain skier, you get all-mountain skis. You're a freestyler, you get freestyle skis. If you're like me, you have a pair of freestyle skis, but you don't know how to do anything freestyling with them. You just liked them when you saw them in the store, so you bought them. And I got a really good deal on those too. I got those skis end of the season with bindings for like $200, maybe a little less. Anyway, skiboards are different. Skiboards, like I said, are smaller. You don't see them. They were a fad for about 5 minutes in the late 90s and early 2000s. In fact, I learned about them in the late 90s while I was working at Mount Snow. Some people have questioned, did I get them because Saucer Boy rode those kind of things? And I said, no. Respect and rest in peace to Shane McConkey, but no, that wasn't what tipped me off. My thing is, it's another Mount Snow story, and I have a million of them, so buckle up. If you continue to listen to the podcast, you're going to hear some Mount Snow stories. So in the late 90s, a friend of mine and I, we knew people down at the rental shop, and they come up to us and say, hey, we got these, ski boards or whatever they call them. I don't remember which, name they used for them, but they said, we have these in the rental shop. Come down. We'll get you a set. And we got discounted rentals, $5 for most rentals, $10 for high performance rentals, ski boards, telemark skis, that kind of thing, if you want to try free healing or whatnot. So we walk down there, give them our $10. Actually, I think we got out for $5. It's good to have low friends in high places, and we knew everybody on that mountain. Everyone. I'm not even kidding you. We get them, we take them out, and we ride them all day. Non-stop. We had a day off, so we just rode ski boards all day. And we loved them. Even my friend really got a kick out of them. In fact, we both ended up eventually buying our own pairs. I still have the very first pair I bought. I love them to this day. We did notice a few things, though. Like I said, pros and cons, just like any set of skis or a snowboard that you ride. Pros and cons. Now, there's 3 big cons as far as I'm concerned. 3 things that can really, really turn you off of these things. And you hit the top 3, right? We're going to do a top 3 list. The first one is the same con that most people who have tried them talk about, whether you're a skier or a snowboarder and you just want to try them, is the effective edge on them. It's obviously a shorter effective edge. If you're, typically if you're skiing 175, 180, 185, 190, 200, 210 if you have a set of those, and more power to you. I had a pair of 198s, the fastest pair of skis I ever owned, and man, I almost killed myself on those things one day showing off for a girl. Anyway, people talk about the effective edge. edge on the ski board. And you can feel that. You can feel that even sharp, it really doesn't, it does what it's supposed to do, but you can feel the difference in places like, say you're skiing glades. You're at a resort and you're skiing the glades, you're in the trees. Big advantage is your shorter skis, you can whip those things, turn them so easy in those trees. The bad thing is if you have to stop quick, you might not. And the same thing with mogul and bump runs. You know, if you have to really dig in and get off those bumps quick, yeah, your feet are moving, but you might not be able to turn and turn hard or stop hard. Not that I've noticed too much. You definitely feel a longer stopping distance. You definitely feel that you can't, just ride the edge and turn on a dime. I mean, I've never had trouble carving with them, but this is on, a groomed slope in bounds. I've never taken them out of bounds to a backcountry, into a backcountry scenario. So that edge, the edging is different. It is something that if you do know how to ski, it won't take long to get the hang of, I don't think, but it's something to think about. Speaking of going, like I just said, if you're going from skis to ski boards, you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to pick it up really fast, actually, but there's going to be little differences. I think the other big con to them is the learning curve going the other way. Now, for some of the websites that sold them and still do sell them, they're still around. They're not as big as they once were, which was only, like I said, for a minute, but they're still around. Some of the websites have, promoted the fact that they are much easier to learn. You can really, you can jump on them, and the learning curve is smaller. You can pick that up quicker than you can pick up a regular set of skis. The problem with that idea is, well, from my point of view, going from full-size set of skis down to ski boards was easy. I already knew how to ski. I'd already been skiing for years, so it was no different. Going from the smaller skis, which I said are a little different in control, a little different in edge, going up to a full-size set of skis might throw you off. What you learned and how you learned with ski boards, or how a person learned with ski boards, isn't, it might not translate as easy. Just because you learned easy, you should be able to give it a go. I'll put it this way. People told me snowboarding was easier to learn than skiing. I learned how to do it, but I stink at it, so I tend to stay away from it. I don't get on one. I haven't been on a snowboard in years. It is easier to learn, but translating it back and forth kind of sucks. Same thing with ski boards to skis. That might even be an issue with, freeheelers. I've never used a set of telemark skis. I know the basic of it, obviously, because I know how to ski, but as soon as that heel comes up, what do I do? So translating from the smaller skis back to the larger skis, or actually two larger skis, not back to, but two larger skis as a first timer, could be a problem. It could be kind of difficult. So if you do get out there and try and check these things out, absolutely, just be mindful of it. It is similar, not the same. It is just similar. Now, if you do check them out, be a little thick-skinned. The third con to riding ski boards, I think, and again, it doesn't really bother me. I'm just bringing it up. We've gotten some good laughs out of this. If you're out there riding ski boards, you will get a fair share of people who haven't seen them. It's like the snow deck. Some people have seen them in the wild. Other people have only seen them in video games. Because ski boards are so not common, people will make fun of you for them. I have been made fun of for riding these things tons of times. Friends of mine, my best friend in the entire world who rides a snowboard, has made fun of me for these. He actually has done the groan and eye roll as I pull them out of the trunk of my car. So people will make fun of you for them a little bit. Usually it's good-natured ribbing because of how uncommon it is. It's looked at as a very nerdy, very goofy thing. Some people are dicks. You're going to have to, kind of deal with that. But, it's mostly good-natured. In fact, one time we were at Stratton when that best friend in particular was working there, and we were skiing there one day, and I needed to go into the shop for something. I think I needed a screw for my ski board bindings or something like this. And, we walk in and said, hey, you got a screw that could fit in my binding. And he kind of chuckled and called them fruity boots. I said, fruity boots? Come on, man. What are you doing? These are cool, and I think they're cool. But then I do that with cars too. I think the AMC Pacer and Eagle and the Gremlin are all cool. Or the Daihatsu Midget too. I think those are great cars. They're not super cars or fancy, but I love them. And the same thing with ski boards, You don't see them often. They are a little goofy, I guess. But, I really love them. And I see all the pros to using these things. And you know what? We'll do a top 3. We'll do another top 3 pros for using these things. So, maybe at the end of this, you can decide. Maybe you want to go find a pair. Or if you've tried them, maybe you'll go try them again. Or maybe you'll just buy a pair out of goof because you saw them on eBay or something. One of the pros, and this is the pro that's worked for me more than anything, is the portability of these things. Like, not every skier has a roof rack. Not every skier has a hitch rack if you're lucky enough to have one of those. I know those didn't get popular, which I thought was really kind of strange. Shouldn't a hitch rack be easier than a roof rack? Anyway, that's a whole other topic. That's a whole other equipment, show. We'll talk about that another time. Anyway, the portability of these things is wonderful. For many years, as I was coming out of high school, I wasn't making much money, didn't need much money, was typically riding on my own or with one or two friends, so it didn't matter if I had one of my back seats down, because, I had the split seats, and I threw my skis and whoever else's skis or snowboards in, cat-cornered, and it was good enough. With Skiboards, man, it's just setting them in the trunk. They don't take up any room. You don't even have to set them in the trunk. You could throw them in the back seat. Back seat doesn't work, throw them in the front seat. Throw them on the floor of the front seat. It is wonderful. They are so super portable, you don't have to worry about nothing. And lightweight, the lightweight adds to that. Now you think skis aren't heavy. Skis typically aren't heavy, and all the weight in a ski is in the binding anyway. So as long as you're holding onto the binding, it's not bad. But you could really tell the difference. And let me tell you something: the bindings on my set of ski boards are just all aluminum. They are solid aluminum. And so they are solid, but the aluminum weighs nothing. So it's kind of wonderful. So between the lightness and the length, they are wonderful for portability. I mean, and even if you have a bag, say, like you have a backpack, I have a Dakine, heliskiing backpack, which is funny because I won't get in a helicopter for anybody, but you can strap your skis or snowboard to the back of it. And I can almost throw my ski boards in it, which makes it wonderfully easy. It's so beautiful. So if you have a small car and don't have the money to get one of those roof racks, which can be expensive, can be wicked expensive if the name on that rack begins with a T or a Y, it can be wicked expensive. You can just get a set of these, man. Throw them in the trunk or throw them in the passenger seat if you're by yourself. It's wonderful. Or you know what? If you're one of the people who likes to take the bus, I would take the bus to the mountain, but it kind of sucks sometimes. You get thrown in one of these cattle car type buses and you gotta throw your skis in a little thing on the outside or bring them in with you and you're all shoulder to shoulder anyway, man. Ski boards, it's almost like carrying your books at school. You throw them under your arm and there's no issue. It's a wonderful thing. But there are also other wonderful things other than portability, and one of those is the learning curve. Now, you're right. I just said that could be a con. That is a con. It is a pro and a con because it depends on which way you're going. Like I said, if you have already skied and you get on a set of these things, it's no issue, no real issue. Do be mindful that it is different, but there's really no issue. Skiing is the same whether your skis are long or short. You just, it just feels a little different. The turning's a little different. The edging is really a little different. The stopping's a little different. So going from a full-size set of skis down to ski boards, really not an issue. Going the other way could be an issue. And I think I said this in the con section of this idea, that some websites that sold them and still do have promoted it, that it's easier to learn. And it really is. I could see how it could be easier to learn. Again, ease of learning is to each their own. For every person who can't ski worth a goddamn, they can snowboard better than anybody. So, it just depends on, yourself mostly. Typically, I've never seen anybody use poles with these. I tried it once and it doesn't feel right to use poles. So you get rid of the poles and, we teach little kids how to do it without poles, and that's part of early learning. So learning how to do it with ski boards without poles, definitely better. You can learn the skate motion much easier if you've pushed through skis. Obviously it can be done and it's not that difficult. Racers do this. Nordic racers, you see them, they gotta push, they gotta do that skate motion. Actually, there's a really good, using the word skate, that's a really good example. Some people can take inline skating and use it as an off-season training tool. Some of the motion is the same, some of the muscle memory is the same. Me, I could never get skating down, so it's not that I don't buy it. I believe people when they say this. I just can't do it for myself. The thing with ski boards is the same idea. You can do the skate motion. Your body moves easier because there isn't as much surface area to push through the snow. so your feet can move easier, your ankles move a little different. To actually learn it might be easier. And again, because I went from and still use full-size skis to the smaller set of skis, my frame of reference is different. I might have to get some of the honorary nieces and nephews. My friends have kids now. We're all 40, around 40, so everybody has kids but me. I might have to get a couple of these kids out and say, put these on, make them try it. Now put these on and see what happens and guinea pig them. But that aside, the guinea pigging aside, it really could be an easier thing to learn. But like I said, learning on those, then going to a full set of skis is different than having learned how to ski a full-size set of skis and then going to ski boards. Basically, what I probably could have said in 10 seconds is just going one way might be more difficult than going the other. That's just probably a lot easier to say, and I probably should have said that before. So what we will do is move on to the last pro, which isn't about the use of them, the technical use of them, knowing how to use them, any of that. It's kind of almost the direct opposite of the third con that people pick on you. I think the third pro of using these things is that it's different, that you're the only person on the mountain with them. And I can liken it to those who have seen, as I said, snow decks out in the wild. If you've ever seen a snowboarder riding a snow deck, you might have been confused for a second. I know I was the first time I saw it. I was at Stratton, once again Stratton, and my friends and I were out, and we actually were on the side of the trail, stopped for some reason. I don't know, someone might have just biffed or something. But we saw somebody go by, and we all looked at each other because it just looked off his skateboard and was just going down the mountain, which we thought couldn't possibly work. So we chased him down to ask. We actually stalked this kid down to the bottom of the hill. We were about halfway up on I think we're on one of the, what the hell is the name of that trail at Stratton? It goes off and around. It's the green trail down that goes around north. You can see Bromley from there. And you're coming down. I can't remember the trail, and I could look it up, I guess. Let's see. It was, it was Mike's Way going down to Upper West Meadow to Lower West Meadow down to Drifter Link. And it was somewhere on Drifter Link that we saw it. We were standing on the side of it. I remember now. Or maybe, you know what? Damn, we could have been all the way down on Lower Wander or Upper Wander. No, we were definitely on Drifter Link. I'm sure of it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. We see someone on a snow deck go by. And we had never seen one before at that point in our lives. So we followed the kid down. And we're like, what is this? And he told us it's snow deck. I think that was the name he used. That's the only name I've ever heard for them. He said it's made by Burton. Go Burton, go Stratton. And so he showed us this thing. And we're like, wow. I've never seen that before. That's unique. And he at that time, he said, yeah, it is unique. He's like, I'm the only one out here with one. And that's how I feel with ski boards. I'm usually the only one. I have lifties who tell me all the time, I haven't seen one of those in forever, a pair of those in forever. I haven't seen a pair. In fact, I had a lifty one time point out that he did see someone with them. One other person. He's like, one other person is on the mountain with those. And asked me if I knew them. And I'm like, why you assume? And I know them just because I'm the only other one up here with these, ski boards. So they are unique is my point. Again, it's amazing. I could probably get these episodes this one's getting, let's see, right now I just went over the 20-minute mark of recording, which will shorten or shrink when I do some editing. But the quick way to say it is that they are unique. And I love them for that. I love the interaction with people. What are those? Even when people are making fun of them, it's like you get to talk to someone, you might make a new friend. You have a little fun with it. So there you go. Those are my pros and cons to ski boards. That's my ode to the ski board, is doing a pros and cons and why I think you should try them. The only other type of equipment that might be as unique and something I want to try, shout out to those who are at Ski the East, are the grass skis. Not super big here, although it is an FIS sanctioned discipline. There are FIS World Cup competitions in grass skiing. I'm definitely going to try these things sometime during the winter. I'm going to get a set, so next spring and summer I can tear it up with those. But the ski boards are definitely where it's at, and that really is my whole point. Ride those ski boards, love them. I love them. Everyone should love them. Don't pick on people for them, or if you do pick on people for them, stay good natured. Don't try and be a dick and start a fight. Believe me, I think as young people, we've all almost gotten in fights on ski hills, and it's just embarrassing and stupid. So anyway, that is my ode to ski boards. That is a 20-minute rant on the Ski Rex Media Rantcast about ski boards. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, we're not going to get too technical into equipment right now, but I will say it's probably time, if you need new equipment or if you need maintenance, get it done. This is the preseason. Fall, I mean, some places aren't going to see fall. On skirexmedia.com today, I put up a story about how there's more September snow out there. And in fact, Montana's going to get like 2 feet, parts of Montana. So they might be, those resorts might win the race to open, hashtag race to open. So get your equipment out. If it's buried in the back of the shed, if it's buried in the back of the closet, if it's buried in the back of the garage, if you've been driving around with your skis or snowboard on your roof all summer, that's probably not the best thing to do. Get it out, get it tuned up. If you do it yourself, great. If you pay someone to do it, great. Get it sharpened, get ready, because winter's right around the corner, man. And if you need new equipment, or at least new to you equipment, head out to a thrift store. You can get cheap stuff there. I'm probably going to go down to the one up the road and look up, getting some cross-country skis and boots, get back into that. I haven't done it since high school, but I could use the exercise, I'm sure. Plus, I might be able to do a little geocaching in that. But there's also ski swaps, tons of ski swaps. I look at news, throughout the country and throughout the world. But, look at your local news. There's always ski swaps in ski towns and areas that have a lot of it here in Vermont, right across the river in New Hampshire, upstate New York, Colorado, everywhere, California, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Washington, anywhere there's a ski town, you'll find a ski swap. So you might be able to get something there. Don't be afraid of used gear, especially if you have little kids. Kids grow too damn fast to buy new stuff for, I think. And I've heard parents make that complaint. Wait until they're in their mid or late teens before they buy something that can be used on a bit more permanent basis, something you can use for more than one season. Tons of ways to get gear right now. Preseason sales at your local ski shops and at the big retail outlets and online. The wonderful thing about preseason is everything's cheap. Not as cheap as it is in the spring. On the closing sales and the clearance sales, that's when you should be buying. But if you need to buy now. And that, I think, is a good place to end an equipment rant on the Skirex Media Rantcast, which I'm actually thinking about changing the title of this thing to the Skirex Media Rantcast. Because that's kind of what it is right now until I get other people on here with me. And even with the right people, it's still probably going to be a rant. But I do hope you enjoy my rants. I really do. I hope you enjoy my rants. So if you do, or if you're more interested in my written content, or if you're more interested to see if I get anything done with the video, here's the places you can find all that stuff. And all what I'm about to spout out is in the description. So you can listen to me rant it all off and say it all, but you don't have to memorize it because it's right down there in the description. And it doesn't matter which description. If you listen to this from the skirexmedia.com website through the Buzzsprout player, if you go to the Buzzsprout site and listen to it, if you listen to it through Spotify, if you listen to it through iHeartRadio, if we get it up on iTunes, which will be our next place to try and get this up. And I put it up as audio only on YouTube. I do not do a video for this yet. Although I was thinking about it. I mean, if Joe Rogan can do it, so can I. That's really ballsy to say. All right, he's a professional. I'm still learning. In any case, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, YouTube. You can listen to this there all you want. If you want to just see where it gets put up on social media, you can go to Facebook, Skirex Media. You can go to Twitter, Skirex Media on that as well. That's actually the only real social media I do right now. So you put in Skirex Media and you'll find me at Skirex Media. You can hashtag whatever you want. If it has something to do with skiing, I'll probably see it. Or maybe we'll come up with our own so we can track things. Either way. Also, this week, I stepped up and am attempting to use the Patreon. Now, I'm still new to that too, and it just went up. And, so things are getting started. It's going to be kind of slow there, but, I am trying to push this, trying to find a community for it. Want more fans, want more friends, want more interaction, want to be able to do this well. Mostly as a writer, obviously that's where the bulk of my content is the written content. But we're going to keep going with the podcast, see how that goes. Try some stuff with the video, try a few other mediums out, try a few things. So you can go to Patreon, Skirex Media, take a look. If you want to support the program, if you want to support Skirex Media as a whole, check that out. Maybe you'll throw me $1 or $2. Maybe we can make some money, or at least I'll find out that there are people listening, there are people interested, and that I am doing this well. Check all of it out. It's all in the description. Take it easy out there. Get outside if you can. Winter's right around the corner. Like I said, September snow everywhere, including spitting distance from my second home, Las Vegas, Nevada. A great place to be a jump off for ski trips. We'll talk about that on another episode. That might be the next episode, actually. Maybe we can actually do some real topics, and they'll turn into Rantcast too, but we'll see where we'll see where we go. In any case, thank you for sticking with me through this one. If you did, Enjoy your day. It's sunny here. I hope it's sunny out wherever you are. Or even if it's not, enjoy your day. Don't work too hard. Actually, do work hard because you're going to need those call outs for winter time to hit those powder days or just to get out and ski a groom day. It doesn't matter as long as you're out there. Thank you for listening again. This is Tim from SkiRexMedia.com. I'll see you out on the trail later.